Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Madhuri. I'm a gynecologist, a lactation consultant, and a first-time mother here in Bangalore. Today we're diving into a question that I get asked a lot. Is it safe to drink coffee in pregnancy? If you're like me, you might have enjoyed your morning cup of coffee and maybe another one in the evening. But what happens in pregnancy? Let's talk about what the science says, what the guidelines recommend, and a little bit of what I learned through my own pregnancy journey. When I found out I was pregnant, I used to enjoy my cup of coffee once in the morning. But around 7 to 8 weeks, something really funny happened. I developed an aversion even to the smell of coffee. So this was me on one side. And on the other side, there was a patient that I had who would drink 5 to 6 cups of tea throughout her pregnancy. So today we'll explore what is it that you should do when it comes to coffee in pregnancy. Caffeine is a stimulant that is found in coffee, but not just coffee. It's also found in tea, chocolate, carbonated beverages, energy drinks, and even some medications. Once consumed, caffeine crosses the placenta and reaches the baby. The baby's liver that has to break down this caffeine is still immature. Caffeine stays in the baby's system for much longer time than it stays in our system. And as pregnancy progresses, even our body's capability of breaking down caffeine slows down quite a bit. So that one cup of coffee might affect you very differently as pregnancy progresses. Now let's talk numbers. The Indian Council of Medical Research, the WHO, the American College, and NHS UK have come up with the same limit. Keep your caffeine intake below 200 milligrams per day during pregnancy. To put it in simple terms, that's about 1.5 cups of brewed coffee per day. For example, a cup of filter coffee can have anywhere between 95 milligrams to 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. A cup of black tea can have about 40 to 50 milligrams. So if you're like my patient who was having 5 to 6 cups of tea in a day, that caffeine adds up very quickly. So what can happen if you drink more? Studies show that consuming caffeine above the 200 milligram limit can lead to miscarriages, low birth weight, and growth restriction. For example, research indicates that there's about 20 to 50% increase in chances of fetal growth restriction with higher exposure to caffeine. In India, some studies also link higher caffeine intake to pregnancy-induced hypertension. If you find yourself craving for coffee and feeling anxious about it, here's what I suggest. Try smaller cups, lighter brews, and spacing out your caffeine intake. You can also switch to decaf, but it's not readily available in India. Avoid taking coffee or tea right after a meal because it can hinder the iron and calcium absorption, both of which are very important for your health. Always read the label. And this advice holds true whether or not the concern is caffeine. If you have symptoms like reflux, nausea, vomiting, sleeplessness, it's prudent to completely avoid caffeine. Speaking as a doctor, even after your little one arrives, caffeine requires attention. It passes into breast milk and newborns process it much slower. Speaking as a mother, avoid it completely. Sleep when the baby sleeps. Pregnancy and postpartum is all about balance, enjoying your comforts while keeping both yours and your baby's health in mind. So moderate coffee intake below 200 milligrams is generally okay. For personalized advice, talk to your gynecologist. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. I would love to hear your coffee stories in the comments below.